Shalom.
Oh, better pull this mic up. Shabbat Shalom.
It is wonderful that it is Shabbat.
Amen.
I don't know how those of you at home are feeling, those of us here in the sanctuary are feeling, but I am ready for the gift of Shabbat because it has been a wild week of running around and catching up and doing too many things. So this lovely time together, the gift of time and space, is really, really special. So we're gonna just set our intention with a little breath work. So let's take a deep breath in and release. Take another breath in. And when you release, try to let go of all that held you back this week. And with this last breath, breathe in the peace and the beauty of Shabbat. And release. And we move from the breath to the song. It is always a joy to welcome Rob Ross to our Bima. It's been too long.
It has.
And I am so excited to be here with you. I'm so excited. We're going to sing Hine Matov because that means how good, how pleasant it is for us to be together.
Amen.
You can find that on page 10.
Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim yachad. Hine matov, hine matov, yalalai, yalalalalai. Hine matov, hine matov, yalalai, yalalalalai. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
So we turn now to kindling our Shabbat lights and offering Kiddush. You will see here, if you are in the sanctuary, Shabbat candles on the side of the room. Please, if you would like, come and pick a set to light on your own. And if you are at home, I hope you will join us in lighting Shabbat candles. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner להדליק נר של שבת. Shabbat Shalom.
We continue with Kiddush. The heaven and earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God stopped on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on that day God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done. Page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Our opening reading is not found in your book. It is called Shabbat is the Place by Alden Solovey. Shabbat is the place where time and space meet, without questioning how the beginning began or how the ending ends. Shabbat is the place where song and silence meet, blessing each other with the gift of rest. Shabbat is the place where dreams and angels meet, yearning together for a world of peace. Shabbat is the place where holiness and eternity meet, praying together for the world to come. Page 28 is our Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam ba'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam ba'ed. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. The Shema is on page 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
Be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
As we prepare for Micha Mocha, we turn to page 39. We read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. The Israelites were able to get to the other side because they walked together, because they were creating a community of one people. We sing Micha Mocha together, page 40.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedam hakodesh, nora tehilo no sepele, nora tehilo no sepele. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, ukeayam lefni Moshe, se'lianu ve'amru, se'lianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. La 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
Page 43. Ashkivenu has become, for many of us, a really meaningful prayer. It's, as I have taught so many times, one of our oldest prayers that has continued to be used. It's probably from 800 of the Common Era, and it makes sense because when the sun sets, we feel sometimes a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more in need of protection. And so the interpretation of Hashkivenu on page 43 makes a lot of sense. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. We turn the page I think we turned the page. I forgot to write the page number, but I believe Hashkivenu was on the next page. Turn back to 42, just kidding. Technology does fail me occasionally. And we sing our song of protection, asking for God to provide for us a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Ve'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Ve'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen.
I don't want to break the silence. So beautiful. Page 44. Vishamru. Shabbat is one of the ways that we connect as a community, that what holds us together as a community. We celebrate Shabbat because God celebrates Shabbat. If you look on page 44, in the small, it's a little bit small, font, it says at the end, God ceased from work and was refreshed. Because God rested, we rest. And when we rest, we come together. The way that we rest is by coming together. And so we remember that by singing Vishamru. We enjoyed that together.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
So I want to comment, because what I taught before Vishamru was that it's about rest. It's about Shabbat.
Oh, sorry.
That was I it's perfect. It was actually perfect, because we often think that that joy and that fun cannot also be Shabbat, because we're supposed to be resting. So how can that go together? It's exactly what Shabbat is. Shabbat is joyful. We can have joy and we can have rest.
It's exactly what I meant to do then.
So perfect. You didn't
Nailed
even
it.
know that. You set it all up and you didn't even know.
Hey.
Yeah, perfect. So when I was growing up in my sanctuary at home, in my tiny little sanctuary in Easton, Pennsylvania, it was very serious. There was no fun. And at camp, there was fun. And it wasn't until much later that I realized they can go together. You can have fun in a sanctuary. And so,
Amen.
yes, so we can rest and be joyous, and that is Shabbat. Page 46 is Tefillah. The Tefillah is the center of our liturgy, in which we kind of refocus ourselves. We give thanks for the greatness of God. We are really grateful for those who have come before us, our forefathers and foremothers, and also once again recognize the sanctity of Shabbat. We will chant straight through. We rise in body or in spirit on page 46.
Anananananana Adonai, Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach, Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vechonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imaot, Umevi Geula Livnei v'Neihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh kol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mechalkel Chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Zomek noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umechayeh emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neiman atah le'achayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom lehallelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. We know that our rabbis of old wanted us to remember to say thank you, to remember gratitude, because we as human beings are far more likely to kvetch, to say oi, than we are to have joy. And so on page 59, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. And on page 60, Shalom Rav, one of the only things we do on Shabbat, one of the only things we ask for is peace. Shalom Rav is a prayer for abundant peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Melech Adon, Lechol HaShalom. Ki ata Melech Adon, Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim leolam, Tasim leolam.
As we do every Shabbat, we take a few moments to think of those whom we love who are struggling, whether it be a healing of body, a healing of spirit, whether it's healing from mental health issues, from physical issues, or just life's everyday struggles. And so we take a moment now to lift up those whom we love. If you are at home, I hope you'll use the chat. And here in our sanctuary, if you'd like to share aloud the names of loved ones who are struggling, please share them as my hand passes over the congregation. Lee. We share the names that have been said aloud, also with those that reside in our heart. And we sing our healing prayer, our Misha Berach, together. If you need the words, it's the middle of page 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu Bekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu bekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us sing, Amen.
We take a moment for silent prayer and reflection.
May the words of my mouth, of thy mouth, and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, oh God, my rock and my redeemer, my rock and my redeemer. Yehu leratson. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart, be acceptable to you, oh God, my rock and my redeemer, together, you, they rot so.
They sounded really good.
They did.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I even heard them at home.
What?
I heard them
You
at
heard them
home.
at home?
Well, yeah.
Wow.
Of course I did.
I need your help with the beginning of my Devar Torah tonight, so I hope you're ready. I need you to help me list songs. It's like a little bit of a sing-off, but you don't have to sing unless you want to. Songs about friendship, support, supporting others, community. Give me some names of songs. If you want to lift them in the chat, you can. Jacob can yell them out. You've got a friend. Wind beneath, that's a good one. Wind beneath my wing. I'm going to repeat it so they can hear it at home. Wind beneath my wings. You've got a friend.
Imagine.
What? Imagine. Lean on me. Good one. Come on. That was like a good start. You are my sunshine. That's a great one. Come on. I have a list here. What? Okay.
There you go.
Actually, that is good.
It really is. You should row your boat.
You should row, because you need other people to help you row the boat. What else? Michael row the boat the shore.
We
Good.
have a
Okay.
theme developing.
Now we're going to go down a different tributary. Did you get that? Oh, okay.
That's it. Boo, Rabbi joke.
That was like
Boo.
a bad mom-dad joke. Okay. What? The whole world. Okay, lovely. Yeah, got the whole. I love that. Other song. Come on. Okay, we need like friendship, friend songs. Think campfire. I'm looking at my husband over here. What? Thank you for being a friend. What? Kumbaya? How's that about being friends? It just is. Okay, it just is.
Bullfrogs have
I love
friends
it. It
too.
just is. What? The rose, okay.
We do.
Okay.
You're waiting for a particular
I'm not.
song, aren't you?
I have like 20 songs here and you haven't hit
And
many
no
of
one's
them.
going home until we hit
No,
all of them.
Okay, how about if those of you who love the show Friends, I'll be there for you. Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I'll Stand By You, The Pretenders. Everybody Hurts, REM. Everything I Do for You, Bryan Adams. You've Got a Friend, James Taylor.
We did that one.
Nope. You've Got a Friend in Me. Did we do that one, Randy Newman? Okay. Any others? Stand By Me. Okay, I think we need to, that was a good one. We Are the World. Good one. Okay. So there are a lot of songs. I put you on the spot and you came up with easily a dozen. Okay? Charlie's like, no, you didn't. Okay, you came up with 8. I came up with 8. There we go. So there are a lot of songs. How did I get 8 and 8 a dozen? It's not a dozen. I don't do math. So try living with me. Okay. There are a lot of songs about friendship, about being able to rely on one another. And yet I think there's a cognitive dissonance in the world. And the cognitive dissonance is that we tell people all the time, it's okay to ask for help, to let people know when we need something. And yet, what do we value the most or value highly in America, in the United States, is do it yourself. Do it alone. pull oneself up by the bootstraps. So we have this continued cognitive dissonance that historically people are praised and lauded. Who are the most praised? Those people who have done it on their own, pulled themselves up from nothing and done it by not relying on others. The definition of pulling oneself up by one's bootstraps involves the idea that a person can succeed without help from other people as a result of one's own hard work. And so because we have this myth that you can do it on your own, needing or wanting help or support means that you are, quote, weak, and asking for help makes one feel sometimes like a failure. And so we have all these songs and we have a constant message out there. Oh, you should ask for help, you should ask for help. And then we have the other message of asking for help, needing help, makes you not as good as. And so what do we do? I want to share with you a story that I read just this week in the New York Times about all of the snow in the San Bernardino National Forest. It's the story of Robert Rice. He's 79 years old and had lived for more than 4 decades in the same home in Running Springs. And he loved it. Snow was he lives in these mountains, right? He's used to snow. He had a generator, an extra canister of gasoline. The pantry was stocked. He was a Vietnam War combat veteran, not worried about hunkering down for a while. And then this happened. His wife, Anne, had been living for a number of years in a skilled nursing facility. She was on a ventilator, and the carbon dioxide was building up in her lungs, and they called him and he couldn't get there. He was a paratrooper, a sergeant in the Army for 6 years, becoming a police officer, and for 3 decades he had a second job as a corporate security supervisor for UPS. He liked to take charge and lead. He did not ask for help. And so for 2 days he tried to move the snow on his own. His daughter said he was in denial. He kept thinking he'd figure out a way to get himself down there. The snow was up to his roof and he could not dig out. His wife's hemoglobin levels were dropping now because of internal bleeding. She was going over blood transfusions every other day and nothing was helping. She was dying. And he wasn't going to get there. He wasn't doing it himself. He took a different approach. He sat down in his laptop and he began to type. He wrote, "I never thought I would have to do this, so here goes. My wife Anne is in a skilled nursing facility down the hill. She doesn't have long to go. I can't even get down there to say goodbye. Is there anyone who can help with my driveway? It's about half done. It needs to be wider so I can back my small car up. I'm an Army veteran, Vietnam veteran, and a retired Leo. This is very embarrassing for me to even ask for help. I am sorry." He added his phone number, posted the plea on a local Facebook group. It didn't take long. His phone started ringing and neighbors began appearing. And then it happened. A tractor with a front loader bucket purchased a few years ago for the winters appeared, and the driver was his neighbor. They dug him out, and in 3 hours, he could get out of the driveway. And then he reached his wife's bedside and clasped her hand. Dr. Alyssa Court teaches that dependence is actually an art. Quote, "Asking for help and working with others demands patience, humility, and organization, and in some cases, social skills. And if you've ever worked in a group before, you know that to be true. Reaching out for support and help is an art form and is sometimes even harder than doing it by yourself. The number of songs that we came up with quickly means that we know it's important to be in those relationships, to rely on others. But we haven't wrapped ourselves around what this means in America, what it means to truly value connections and others. And so what does it mean to learn a new way? No surprise, we can look to the Torah. It seems that it's not just a societal problem, it's a human problem. Because Moses and Abraham, all of our forefathers and foremothers, they struggled with this as well. Moses was our only leader. And when he went up on the mountain, and the Israelites were waiting for him, he was alone up there. And the Israelites, they didn't do so well working by themselves. What did they do? They made the golden calf. I mean, they really didn't do well, right? And they made the golden calf. They lost their trust. They disconnected with each other. Moses needed to rely on others to help him. So what happened? After Moses came back down, Moses became more of a democratic leader. The tabernacle wasn't made just by Moses. It was made because all of the people brought their treasures. And this Torah portion, it says, bring according to Nadiv Lev, everything according that you want to. And they brought so much stuff, so much treasure, stuff is a technical term, so much treasure that Moses had to say, stop. And then everyone who had skill was participating. And Bezalel and Aholiab led the way. Everyone was relied upon, the entire community. Not really since the crossing of the Red Sea had they been more unified. Alyssa Court teaches the art of dependence is a form of connection and social cohesion. It brings us closer to one another. When Mr. Rice figured it out that he couldn't do it by himself, he had the most profound moment with his wife. Imagine if he had missed that moment just because he wanted to do it by himself. We have to learn a new way. The Israelites built the tabernacle because they started to learn a new way. And we too can liberate ourselves from this independence and learn an art of dependence. Let go of this myth and learn and create a new one. Really love these songs as our new myth and the sacred narratives of friendship and connection as our sacred narrative, so that we can support and empower and connect ourselves to one another. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So those of you here in the congregation and those of you at home have noticed that there's no musicians sitting over here. And that is thanks to Jeremy Sosin and Marshall Griffith and Deb Rogers, who are helping accompany us tonight. And now it's your turn to add your voices to accompany us tonight for our sermon, our anthem post-sermon. So we need some singers and we need some percussion. So those of you who would like to be percussion, this is your part. You ready? Let's try that. Not that hard, right? Okay, those of you who are doing music are doing this. doom, 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. And sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrows, but if we are wise, we know there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on me when you're strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Well done.
We're already changing the myth. Just with that.
Amen.
Thank you. We return to our Siddur, to our prayer book for Aleinu, which is our prayer to connect us and God together in a spirit of tikkun olam, of repair. On page 283, please rise in body or spirit. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, ushemo echad.
Be seated. We turn in our service to our time of remembering. Our memorial meditation is not found in your Siddur. It's called To One in Sorrow. Let me come in where you are weeping, my friend, and let me take your hand. I, who have known a sorrow such as yours, can understand. Let me come in, I would be very still beside you in your grief. I would not bid you cease your weeping, friend. Tears can bring relief. Let me come in. I would only breathe a prayer and hold your hand, for I have known a sorrow such as yours and understand. We remember those taken most recently from our temple family. In Shloshim, we remember Emil Cohen III. And we remember those whose yard sites fall at this Shabbat: Jerome D. Anthony, Irene Bear, Louis Bamberger, Phyllis Benet, Edith Busney, Sidney Busney, George E. Frankel, Ray Ellen Seiden Garrison, Samuel L. Glazer, Marcia Green, Sylvester Greenbaum, Barbara A. Haas, Judith Marie Halley, William Hilkert, Max Kalish, Joel N. K., Matilda Kramer, Irving Ross Lakritz, Stella Schwartz Lazarus, Harry Mannheim, Louis A. Newman, Tilly W. Rose, Leonard C. Rosenberg, Benjamin H. Chattel, Edith Schlesinger, Morris J. Solomon, Moynell K. Spanny, Florence R. Stern, Vivian D. Stoddard, Raymond N. Strauss, Perry Van, Molly Lazar Weinberg, James B. Wolfe Sr. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to the mourner's Kaddish on page 294. We rise in body or in spirit. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, v'alma divra hirute v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chaye decho beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach leolam almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha barechu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, amen. Please be seated. It's my pleasure to invite Tracy Messer to come forward to share some greetings and announcements. Let me grab a microphone for you.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
What a wonderful service tonight. It combined my favorite things: popular music, a cappella music, the New York Times, and Torah. What else? What else is there? So thank you, Rob, and thank you, Rabbi, for a fabulous service tonight, as always. Some announcements for I'm going to say for spring, because it's just around the corner. So as you walk out tonight, please take a moment to look at the annual campaign thermometer on your left as you head toward the door. We're so excited to report that we've made our goal of $50,000, and thanks to everyone who contributed. We can still do more, of course, and have plenty of needs, so please help us keep STK strong. The second rite of spring is the STKA Congregational Retreat, which is April 15th and 16th. We'll be at Punderson State Park with Rabbi Van, Rabbi Shauna, and Deb Rogers, and we'd love to see you there. And there are plenty of us who come back year after year. Sometimes it even gets sold out, so it's really a wonderful time, and the deadline to register ends on Monday, the 20th at noon. So please call or email Rochelle to get on the list. The Kol Nashim sponsored book chat last night with Jane Rosen, and that was a success. Many thanks to those of you who contributed. And finally, the Beechwood Police and the Jewish Federation will be conducting evacuation training and drill after services next Friday, March 24th. So we encourage you to be here for that important security update. And of course, Passover is also coming. And the Women's Seder is on Sunday, April 2nd. You can register online. The link was in today's Temple Times or by calling Rochelle in the office. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Teach you. Ready? Yeah.
That's why she went to rabbinical school.
we have a closing song. It is a Don Olam. And you can find, am I right?
I hope so. That's the one I've got right here.
Perfect. Just making sure
If it's
we're
not,
connected.
we're in real trouble.
Connected
it's going
here.
back to a cappella again.
Yeah. So you can find a Don Olam on page 321.
All 5 verses. Because
Why not?
why not? And I've got them here. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivrach Le'ed Nasa B'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Be'acharei Kikvot HaKol Levado Yimlok Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh Vehu Yiyeh B'tifara Vehu Echad Ein Sheli Lehamshilo Lehachbira Beli Reshit Beli Tachlit Belo Haos Behamizra Vehu Eli Begoali Echtur Hevi Be'etzara Vehu Yizit Emanosli Menat Kosi Beyom Ekra Beyado Avkid Ruchi Be'et Ishan Be'aira Be'im Ruchi Be'iyati Adonai li Ve'lo Igra.
Let's rise in body or in spirit for our closing benediction, immediately followed by Motzi.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha bichuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. Ve'asem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness.
Amen.
Let's sing Motzi.
Sure.
Why not?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat
b'tei
shalom.
avon.